What's up, everybody, and welcome to your Friday 5 p.m. evening dose of the Man Card Podcast. We're very excited that you decided to join us this Friday afternoon. I got Mitchell here, I got me here, and I also have a lovely off-screen guest, if you're tuning in on YouTube, my lovely wife, Ellie Bryant.
Hello.
That's so cool. So cool.
You know what I was thinking about earlier before I even came here?
What?
Was that like y'all? I for whatever reason, I was going to ask you. So where's your girlfriend at? And it's not girlfriend.
It's not girlfriend.
I
Get
don't
it
even
right. I have wife privileges.
Yeah,
Oh my
and
gosh.
he has a husband.
I just want to warn the viewers out there. Ellie has been overtly aggressive tonight. So if you see anything
I'm ready to
flying,
fight.
if you see anything flying into frame, as in
Just don't be
objects,
alarmed.
it's just gonna happen and it's unavoidable.
Probably
So
started when I broke her ornament.
Yeah,
yes,
it did.
yes.
All
On
the
Monday,
rage just
Yeah.
exploded.
if you didn't tune in, Mitchell was testing the integrity during our halftime show of one of the ornaments, and
With permission.
with permission.
Preface that.
And Ellie was on team not break. I was on team break, and it ended up breaking.
It was
So-
really sad, and I think it just bubbled up all these emotions inside me that I
But
just
she had to
have to
let
get
go.
out.
Uh-huh.
Well, now that we are in this Friday episode, we kind of shoot the shit. We kind of just go with the breeze, go kind of where it takes us. We have a little bit of an outline, but we kind of just let the conversation flow. We will start off with a greater theme of the episode, which is going to be cuffing season. Now, Ellie, you didn't know what that was before I mentioned
I
it.
did not, but I did not know a lot of things
This is
before
true.
I met you. So
And then we started talking about it, and she's like, "Ew,
Ew,
And
gross.
It's not necessarily that either. I mean,
I like to think of it in terms of like you have your sights set of.
it could be that.
You like to think you have your sights set on New Year's Eve,
Mm-hmm.
and mid-November through mid-December, you're kind of like, who's going to be my boo for the end of the year?
Yeah.
So,
my boo.
well, whatever, because usually most cuffings end up breaking up in the first 2 months of the new year anyway. But nevertheless,
Why not
cuffing.
just kiss a friend?
Kiss the homie.
Yeah, honey, I kiss the homies goodnight, but I just don't tell you about
Not
it.
a boyfriend.
They're not my boyfriends.
Okay.
Friend boys.
They're friend
No,
boys.
I'm saying like in the episode of Friends when it's like New Year's and they just like kiss each
Yeah,
other.
honey, that's a TV show.
Yeah. Well, that don't happen.
Yes, it can.
Sometimes, you might wish
so
it happens,
can. You
but
just
no,
like
it don't
kiss your
happen.
friend. You say Merry
Let-
Christmas,
Mark
Happy
that-
New Year.
That's a girl thing. Like
I
girls
think
hold
it's-
hands and like hug each other. Whatever. Guys.
no,
don't.
like a guy.
I am not
Guys-
kissing it. There's
No.
no way.
Guys
No,
are always
no,
waiting
sorry.
there for the door to
Boy
potentially
kiss
be
girl,
open.
girl kiss boy. Not
Girl needs to
same
open
gender.
door. Girl needs to undo because you're so stuck in the friend zone. You're too scared to do that. As a guy,
Yeah.
if the girl, okay, let's think of that situation. You have 3 guys, 3 girls. They're all friends. No one's dating.
And you're at a
Gotta-
New Year's Eve party.
whatever. But obviously, some guys like most of the time, guys are attracted to the girl, whether the girl's attracted to the guy or not. If one of the girls comes up to a guy and it says like wants to kiss on New Year's or like going in for the kiss, the guy will do it. But if the guy goes up to the girl, there's like, I feel like there's a way more chance that the girl's like, whoa, we're just friends.
Okay,
Correct.
I can see that. Well, ladies, if you want to participate in this cuffing season,
Kiss the homie goodnight.
kiss the homie goodnight.
Kiss the homie.
Kiss the
goodnight.
homie goodnight.
His
You're
face
welcome
is
to all
like,
you
"Who is
friend
this
zoned
woman?"
Yeah,
dudes
I don't
out
know
there.
what's going on. Who did I marry? Who is this woman? Where's Ellie? And where did you kill her? Yes. So cuffing season, I've always seen it as something that it's just a necessary evil of the holiday season. A lot of youngins participated, angsty teens, as Ellie and I like to call them. We try to spot them whenever we go to the beach house and Seaside. We just like look out for angsty teens. But I don't know. I don't see it as much of a negative as I do as like just kind of it just exists.
Someone to spend time with. I
Yeah.
mean, you think of no one wants to sit and watch Christmas movies by themselves.
I
Nobody
do.
makes it.
Well, especially
wow.
especially if you're not close with your family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, yes and no.
But just
yes
like
and no.
do that with friends. Like, why do you need?
Because
I feel like a lot of
'cause
cuffing
then it
season
comes
comes
into
out
the-
of friends.
yes, yeah.
You know, like
then-
I'm close to
Comes out of
somebody.
friends?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
like I'm close with this person. So we're spending a lot of time together, and then it's like, oh well, shit. I guess we just kind of found ourselves in a relationship at this point.
Yeah.
Like, what are we? It's kind of like cuffing season in a nutshell.
Okay, that's fair. I still don't get it, but Just,
okay.
just be single. Why can't
mean,
you just be single and have a good
It's like an
freaking holiday
anti-hall
season?
pass.
Yeah,
It's like the opposite of hall pass.
It says you, the married
What?
woman.
Like hall pass, you're married or whatever, or boyfriend, girlfriend, you get to go whatever, be single or do whatever you want. It's the opposite. It's like you're single, but you like get a hall pass for the holidays.
I-
You get with somebody.
I was single once.
You're also a girl.
You're also
No
a girl.
offense.
No, I mean,
I'll say
You-
this much:
you have
cuffing
every option
season
to say
came
no.
from dudes. Girl, I almost feel like girls aren't like, oh, I
Don't
need to get
care.
a. I don't need a boy for the
Okay, well then
seasons.
y'all are just all insecure,
Well,
and you
welcome
just need to
the-
work on
Well, I
just
think-
having fun with the season.
I think
and-
that's every young man growing up. That's just going to be a consequence of finding your man card. Is like we don't have that
Because
natural.
I'm not hitting up Blake, and honestly, I wasn't hitting up Noah back in the day, being like, "Hey, you want to come over and watch a Christmas movie?" No, I'm not. I'm not texting any of my friends that
why.
because we're dudes. Like,
I mean, we only kiss the
'Cause you're
homies
all
goodnight.
yeah, it's only good
Oh
night.
my gosh.
We want a girl to do that with.
Yeah, I mean,
it's much better. You get cuddled up. It's warm.
it's like something you can report
What
back
was
to
that?
your bros.
I don't know. I was going to get into a lot of
Were you doing an example on me? Is it?
No. I was probably just going to go too deep into the
Okay, let's
Yeah,
just end
anyways.
it there.
Okay,
All right.
we'll move on. So that's cuffing
Thank
season in a
you.
nutshell.
Next.
Great, babe. That sounded good.
Thank you.
I like that. Okay, so Ellie, this has been an explosive conversation for the evening.
Let's get
Yeah.
into it, Mitchell.
Bank account. Get those bands. That was my
So
crappy
basically-
rendition.
Hold on.
Okay.
Preface it with we spoke about bank accounts,
In the
separate
past.
joint. You have joint. We have different opinions on it. And Ellie just wanted to tell me that she listened to that and she got on the defensive side. So here's the defense
Okay.
coming out, taking the court.
So basically, Mitchell was talking about that he needs to have 2 separate bank accounts, correct?
3
Yes.
total though.
3 total. So 1 joint, I'm guessing,
Yes.
and then 2 separate.
Yes.
And you talked about this on the podcast. So
And just to clarify, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. All 3 bank accounts are visible to you, or hers you can't see.
I'm not going to force it. It's like a phone thing.
Okay.
It's like if I want to see her phone, I feel like she should like show me, or
Okay.
like I see her bank account, like she should show me. But I'm not.
All right.
It's her
Okay.
property.
Take
It's
it
hers.
over, Ellie.
So here's the thing. 1, I said it's an immature view.
That was not
on
the word I
banking.
thought you were going to use at the time.
What did you think I was going to use?
I don't know, but some like wrong way of thinking about it. But you said immature. So
No,
all right.
immature, just in the sense of like you haven't been in a relationship with someone that you would want to share a bank account with.
Fair.
And be completely open and honest with them in that capacity.
Fair.
That's also what I said on the
Yeah,
podcast.
that's
Yeah.
fair to say. I could definitely change my mind,
2,
but right now, no.
I got defensive as if like taking it as a side of like the person you would be with, right? I feel like they would be like, well, why wouldn't you want to share it all with me? Because in Noah and I's instance, we have 1 bank account. We have a savings account that we don't touch and we put money in there, but our checking account is joint. And
Yes.
at the beginning of our marriage, we thought we were going to have separate, but we've actually loved having 1 bank account. And we love it because 1, everything is transparent. We have to tell each other what we're buying because they could think it's fraud. It's someone like on our account spending hundreds of dollars somewhere,
When it's
whatever
Ellie
it
just
is.
at Target.
Yes, it was just me buying new clothes, whatever it is. And I feel like, don't make that face.
Well, no, I think the only thing where we benefit from the separation is through the credit card.
Yes.
So I use my credit card as a debit card. I don't use my debit card ever, and I actually don't think
Smart.
I have.
Yeah.
I've never used mine.
And same with Ellie. So
If you're
the on-
disciplined, that's very smart.
right. So the only transactions that we have on our bank statements are pretty much paying off credit card.
That's really smart. I like
Right.
that a lot. Yeah.
So every single time she pays off credit card,
I
that
need to
would
do
be
that.
a great way to do it.
I hate that I thought of that too. I didn't want to open my mouth and go against my own argument. But still,
So
even
the
still,
defensive part
though,
of it is like, as your partner in the future would think, well, we are working together to make money for us and for our future family. All of our money is one thing.
Yes.
Like what I'm making is what he's making. We both have a job. We're both making around the same right now. Obviously, that's going to change as you know, we changed jobs and everything like that.
Yeah.
But right now we're equal. But it doesn't matter. It's like what we are putting into this bank account is for us to use.
Bank account.
Bank account. That's fair.
So I would say from a woman's perspective, it would be like, even like I'm probably going to be a stay-at-home mom at some point because that's something I want to do. I want to raise our kids. So it's like Noah's still going to have a joint bank account because my job is to watch the kids, to raise the kids, to homeschool the kids, and his job is to bring the money in.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I do side jobs to make money on the side because I like teaching dance, I like doing stuff like that, but it would feel like you are trying to keep money away from that person because you just feel like they're going to take it from you. It's like, no, just get in a better relationship and get in a relationship where you trust that person with all your money because you're working for her, you're not just working for yourself. And right now you're just working for yourself.
All right.
Because what
Yes.
you're describing, a good way to hedge and actually build some of that into it and financial independence is through the credit cards.
Yes.
Another thing though, and this is me, and it's more so like, yes, I'm sometimes greedy. It's not 100%. It's not. I know, and I can admit it. I can 100% admit it. The way I grew up, and you know, in a household where, you know, I still had just about everything I wanted, but money was a huge talking point in my in my family, where it was the number one argument that always like came across, stress, whatever.
Yes.
But in the whole defense thing, it's not necessarily I'm scared someone's going to take it from me. I'm not, or overspend their share, or, you know, take advantage of me. Yes, that is definitely one of the reasons. The other thing is I want, on the opposite, to be able to spend the money that I want the way I want.
Yeah, and
So like if
you should be able to have the relationship for you both to do that.
But there's also, what if we're not eye to eye on things like that, like investments, like stocks? Like what if she doesn't like stocks? She had a bad experience with stock, or if I want to go and
This is a
rental
conversation you
I
have before
understand.
you get married then, and then if they say they don't like that, you say bye-bye.
But do you say bye-bye from someone if they say, no, I don't invest in stocks
Hey,
and I don't
Ellie,
like that?
I want to go in on crypto.
Here's the thing. It's like if Noah has something like that, which we don't have anything like that right now.
Yeah.
But if he came to me and I didn't understand it or whatever, I might be like, I don't know. But then he's going to show me all the things. He's going to explain it to me. And then I could be like, oh, okay, yeah, I see how that can happen. Let's do that because it's our money.
Dogecoin to the moon.
Yeah.
Well, give me the research and then we'll talk about it.
See, yeah, I'm
but
not
you
into
should
that.
be able to have that open conversation with your partner and say, hey, like this looks like something we can invest our money into because again, it's for your family. It's not just for you.
But what if you disagree? What if you guys,
Then,
you cannot?
then you're
Then that's freaking life. Like,
Like,
I
you-
know,
you
but
have
it's
to
freaking
learn
life. But
to-
what do? Do you just not? You have to take one side because one person
But
doesn't want to
that's not
invest, one
gonna-
person
Mitchell,
does.
Mitchell, you're giving a one instance for this whole situation.
I get that, yeah.
And it's like,
Well, it's
if
a-
you're
it's a
married
good-
to the person that's like going to be your partner, they have to make sacrifices just like you do. So if this is something that's going to help your family and help you guys like grow your finances, then why would they say no?
Can I-
There is no reason for them to say no if it's a sound decision.
If it's a sound decision, but also think like, okay, obviously we talked about the NFT thing. You think it's nuts. Honestly, a lot of people think.
How's
I
that
think
going,
it's nuts.
by the way?
It's actually profitable to an extent.
Okay, I was just being like ridiculous, but I really don't think it's nuts. Like I get the whole thing. I don't think it would be for Noah and I right now because
Of course.
we're trying
I mean,
to save
it's
for a
not
house.
for everybody.
Like we're not,
Yeah.
you know, in that place. You are because you're single. You know, like
Yes,
you have
I
the
agree.
freedom.
It's more so the other thing, and this might be a naive way of looking at it, because again, I'm not married. I haven't been in a relationship where I'm like, you know, this is the one, we're planning life together. I have not been there. With sacrifice comes whatchamacallit? I had the word what's the word when you sacrifice too much and you start to resentment.
Resentment, yes.
With sacrifice comes resentment. I saw a lot of
No.
that. Yes.
no, I mean, no,
With
let's play it out. Let's
not
play it
always.
out.
No, not always. Like
Okay.
little things. Like, what do you want to eat today? I want Chinese. Whatever. You give up Chinese.
Yes.
Small things. You don't resent the person. But like a big thing. Like, hey, I want to go invest in this. You know, property. And I'm sticking to the investment thing because we're talking about money.
Yeah.
I want to go invest in this property because I think it's going to make us a lot of money. It's going to be able to make us retire earlier, so we don't have to sit there and work longer. We can enjoy our lives at a younger age. They're like completely against it, shuts it down. You can't come to a yes or a no situation. So if you give it up, you're like, okay, fine, I won't do it. And it's something you've been wanting to do, that's a big sacrifice. And then it's like you slowly, like, you resent, especially if you see like the housing market boom. You're like, wow, could have got in this, but this person kept it. Or the other way is you go and spend the money, and then they sacrifice the money that they earned and put into this bank account, and they resent you a little bit, thinking like, wow, he forced me into this. I like the idea of just cutting that out, where like there's not really sacrifice there. We don't have to sacrifice or possibly resent. We have our joint account where we spend it on the necessities, things for the family, things like savings, vacations for the kids and the house, and we do even amount.
I have so many things to say. I'm going to blow up. Okay.
I'll finish this sentence, but then also we have our separate accounts where like if we want to go and do little things like that, if we want to go and like, hey, I put $2,000 into crypto. I didn't spend your money. I put in mine. If I lose it, that's on me.
Our money though.
Okay.
Yes,
Here. So let me just say the things. One, that's why your view is immature, because again, you're just thinking of yourself.
Yes, correct.
Two, wives should, under the Bible, if we're talking in a conservative Christian standpoint, wives submit to their husbands. So if their husbands say this is something that we should do, obviously I'm not saying like abuse and things like that, but if they're leading your household like the Lord tells us to do, then why would she say no? So that's another thing. It's like, if you're with a Christian conservative woman that trusts you, she's going to be like, heck yes, let's do it. Like, if that's what you are saying that we should do, then I'm going to follow you and we're going to do that.
And you'll be crypto billionaires.
Exactly. But it's like, and three, like, you give and you take in a relationship. Like, I've said no to things for Noah. Noah has said no to things for me. And like, we give and take. There's no resentment, because resentment within marriage is so unhealthy.
I agree.
It's overpowered by forgiveness, because you always have to realize that person is always going to let you down no matter what, because they're a freaking human. They're not God. Mm-hmm. So when you get with that person and they continually let you down with finances or anything, you're just going to have to come forth with that, with forgiveness. And it's hard. It's a hard thing to do, but that's what marriage is for. And that's why not many people are married, because they don't want to do the work. And it's not like an easy thing, but that's what has to happen.
I will be completely honest right now about letting Ellie down. And this is actually a big thing, big point of contention in our relationship. Mm-hmm. Chick-fil-A. I
spend so much freaking money at Chick-fil-A.
You do?
No.
She does.
I actually only buy Chick-fil-A when it's either being paid for or I'm using points. But regardless, I let Ellie down recently, big time.
Yeah, this was a big one.
And it has its heart of the situation based in the Lord's chicken.
Oh my gosh, Noah.
I gotta tease it. It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
No, I forgot to ask for no pickles on our sandwich recently, and we've been married for 6 months as of, when was that? Yesterday.
So this is a toxic marriage, is what I'm hearing.
It's
okay. Well, here's
grossly
the thing.
toxic.
I got really upset about it because I was like in a bad mood already. And this was something that happened like the first year we were dating. I like cried at a Chick-fil-A because he got me pickles, but we were in an argument. So I was crying because of the argument. So it's been a continual joke in like our whole family.
Oh boy,
like,
I would've been
don't
like,
forget the
girl's
freaking
nuts.
pickles.
Oh my gosh, it's pickles.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I would have been like, wow, I gotta reassess.
Okay. Again, immaturity.
No, no.
And then,
honey, that's not. It's called humor.
She saw pickles. It's not. She's crying. She's crying.
it was not because of that. Noah was being a little.
I was
Which is
being
believable.
rude. I was being a bitch.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to that situation, it's like Ellie had to come to terms with the fact that I'm a human.
Yeah.
And as many times as I have in the past, specifically asked for no pickles on the sandwich, it's of course never about the pickles. But I've specifically been like, no pickles on the sandwich. And in this one time, I bring home a sandwich and I forget in that moment to ask for no pickles.
Oh, and here comes truth on your part. I would have just said, "Oh, I told him they messed it up." Damn, Chick-fil-A.
No,
Yeah.
he was, because he's an honest person, and he realized right in that second, he was like, oh my gosh,
like,
how
oh,
could
shit.
I freaking forget
was like, I
the
forgot
no
the fucking
pickles. And the thing was too, is like, then Noah forgave me for getting upset about it, because he was like, she's obviously not really upset at this. It was just like a shocking, situation, because I was like, how could you,
Yeah.
we've had this conversation like a million times, and it blew up into something, but we both forgave each other because we knew we were both being silly.
And bringing it back home to finances, really what you're describing of the anxiety when it comes to disagreement about money, that all is solved in the budget.
Yeah.
So the sharing or having separate bank accounts all comes through in the budget.
Yeah.
Right. So we spend on separate credit cards. So separate accounts technically comes out of the same pool to pay for both of those cards. And then everything we spend on is put into the budget. So every single line item that she spends and I spend, as we spend it, is being put into the budget. So like, you know, it's not like you spend something on X and she spends something on Y and you don't tell each other. And at the end of the month, you're like, where did all our money go? Or you're surprised about it. It's like, well, no, it was in the budget. We budgeted you $2,000 this 2 months to put into whatever crypto you want.
Yeah.
And then you gave her, you know, 1,500, or I'm just saying numbers, but like X amount of money to do whatever she's really passionate about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just put it in the budget and it solves the problem.
And that really leads into our next topic about being open and honest.
Honest.
Okay, well, can we not do that one? Just I got
Oh,
one more
yes,
scenario.
yes,
I got one
say
more.
something.
One
I
more
want
scenario.
real quick.
Okay.
One more scenario, and because you brought up the whole investment thing, and you know your husband would, you know, lead you right. Hopefully, like this would be good for us. What if it's something that like they just really want? Like honestly, I'll give you the perfect scenario. Sometime in my life, I'm buying a Porsche 911 Turbo S. It's a $250,000 car. Ridiculous amount of money.
Make a freaking presentation for me.
No.
Show me
There's
like
no. It's
no,
literally a
I'm
want.
saying
It's
like
want. It's
no,
just,
I'm saying like show me how we can afford it, how we're gonna pay it off, like when we need to buy it, like all the things, and then just be open and honest. Be like, this is how I'm gonna afford it. I'm not gonna take anything out of anything else. Like I'm gonna make sure we pay all the other bills, and then I'll be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So here's,
As long as you're not taking from like a huge part of it, and you're like working to make that money, and like I would be like excited if we like got to use our money for something like that, or like a house. Like if we got to use our money to buy a house, and then one day maybe we get to buy a really cool car that Noah's always wanted, which there's not really anything
it's
like
out there
that.
already. He already has the car of his dreams.
Yes,
He's already told
he
me.
does. Yes, but the same thing. It's like I would feel honored to use my money to help Noah buy something he really wanted.
Well, I hope whoever I'm with would feel the same way.
And they're
Honestly,
going
I
to.
would.
and here's the best way to save up for that car. You ready to hear it? While you're single, live on
Nothing.
nothing. Live on $0. You're making a lot of money right
But
now.
then if I go your way, then boom, the second married cut in half.
No, because the
we,
person-
when we got married, we were so excited because our bank account got huge
It got
because we
huge.
had been living separate, and then we're like, wow, we have a lot of money together, and we got a lot of money from family and friends for the wedding, so we were like, wow, we can like afford things. This is great.
because you're also forgetting she's probably going to be working too in your early
Most
relationship.
likely.
Yeah.
hopefully, yes.
So, you know, I don't want to put numbers out into the world, but like you'll be living very comfortably with her inevitably when that does happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, while you're young and single, live on $0.00 and take your entire paycheck post-tax and just be like, all right, this is what I live on. This is what I'm, and then just sock a bunch of it away. Be like Chandler Bing from Friends. You like, Monica opens up the account.
No, I live with my mom still. I'm doing.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So it's like
Yeah.
you're doing it right now. So you're just watching your bank account
Yes,
every month,
exactly.
like just go berserk.
So it's like going to be amazing when you get to get married and then put that together with someone else that like has been doing the same
I hope
thing.
they have,
Like
yes.
it's really exciting.
And all you have to do is on your first date, open with, I'm
How
buying
much
a
money
Porsche
do you have?
911 Turbo S, and done. That's it.
Yep.
And she'll either leave or stick with you.
And here's the thing too is like I'll say one more thing like that IRA, whatever,
IRA,
Roth
yes.
IRA. Sorry, this was a really big point of contention in our
Yes.
marriage because I didn't understand it. My dad raised me just to save for myself. That was not probably the best view.
It's what they grew up doing.
Exactly. So I did not understand that whole situation, and I didn't want to put money into it at first. Like I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
just
I'm
wanna put
not
it in
using my
savings
money.
account,
I was like,
yeah.
I spent my whole life saving this money. I don't want to put it into this random thing. I don't know where it's going to go.
Yep.
And then he finally he was very patient with me. He talked it all through. He showed me numbers. His dad talked to me about it. And then now I put $500 into it every month.
It's the smartest investment you can make,
So-
especially at an early age.
But that was a huge, we were on opposite sides of the spectrum, and we finally came together because it was just give and take, give and take. We realized I was like, I'm not putting this much money in. Then we just made compromises, and then we're at a comfortable position.
Yeah, and if you extrapolate the $500 out a month, it's $6,000 a year,
which is your max.
which is your max. So,
Exactly.
You know,
Just
if
break it
you,
up
if you
in
make
small pieces.
140 or more, you can't technically contribute to your Roth IRA account anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know what leeway there is. Like if you make like 145, they probably don't check. But if you make more than 140 a year, you're technically not allowed to contribute to a Roth IRA account anymore.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll have to ask my dad about that.
I don't think it's joint. I think joint it might be a higher number, but as a single or
Joint,
whatever.
it has to be
Yes.
more.
Oh yeah, it's definitely more than joint.
It's got to be
For
over
sure.
200,000.
Yeah.
It's probably like 225.50.
Or it still might just be single because it's under your name. I don't think you can have a Roth IRA account under two people's names. It's
yeah, I
still
don't
under
think
your
so.
because it's under Social Security numbers.
That's true.
It's under yours, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably whatever you individually report on your income. But
Okay.
anyway,
We
Running
are
out of
coming.
time?
We are coming to the end of the show. We've got about 3 minutes left, or 3.5 minutes left. But let's end with a positive note about being open and honest with your friends,
Yes.
yes,
because it's really important to have a level of transparency, whether that be because Ellie and I are really private about our specific relationship.
Yeah, we don't tell
Yeah.
anyone about our issues.
Yeah,
or-
we don't put our tea on the table for everybody to drink from. Like that's kind of just our thing. And we deal with things
And that's been
amongst
healthy for
ourselves,
us.
which has been great. We've had our fair share of disagreements. We come together. That's fine. But I think with friends, when friends are like with each other and they notice like I had a spat with one of my friends recently,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of like I called him to the carpet on it, and I was like, "Hey, this really upset me."
Yeah.
and I would love an apology. I was just like, this is what I need to move on. And he was like, okay, done. Like, let's make it happen. And so like, now we're good now.
yeah,
So it's like being able to be open and like having a level of like candor.
And it's also about like getting over that hump of like thinking about being open, because a lot of times it's way less big than what you have put into your mind. Like you think
Definitely.
they're going to get so angry, but ultimately it's like if what you have to say is really important and important to their health and stability, it's like, and whatever it is, it's like, it doesn't matter if you hurt their feelings in that moment. They're going to be thankful for what you said in the future years. And if not, then they're just going to be in a situation that you have to figure out how to love them for. So it's
Yeah.
like,
As you said before, I don't even think it was on the podcast, was the whole, you're in a bad situation and your friend could have helped you. They didn't say anything till after the situation. Then you're like, I knew that situation was
Yeah.
going this way, whatever. And then you're like, you could have told me. It's the whole football thing. And it's like, they throw an interception. It's like, oh, I knew that was going to happen or whatever. Watching
like,
it the day
oh, did
later.
you?
Yeah, really. Uh-huh.
Well, because it's like it really it shows your true colors, like as a friend. It's like, are you really on my team? Like when truly shit hits the fan and things start happening, like are you going to be the person that I can rely on for good advice, sound advice?
and you don't have to take the advice. Like,
Most of the time, I would
Yeah,
say you don't take the advice, but I think
I'd say you take a step back and look at it.
and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
take it
just
for what it
gives you
is.
a perspective, a different perspective, because again, when you're the person that's in the situation, you're not seeing the outside, and your friends are the ones who have seen you through all of the things and know when it's a good thing, know it's in a bad thing. And when there's multiple people telling you the same thing, it's usually a red flag.
Yeah, it's at least something to investigate. And so like same with Ellie and me. So like we would have like conversations amongst ourselves just about like X, Y, or Z. Like I would do something and she'd be like, well, what the hell are you doing? And I have to come back and like noodle on it all week. And I'm like, oh shit, like, okay, I guess I was kind of being a jerk.
Yeah.
Which is usually what it's about. Noah
Pretty
is
much.
jerk. Make Ellie mad. Ellie mad at Noah. Noah come back. Apologize.
And all is good in the world.
And all is good.
No pickles.
No gosh dang pickles. That's what I'm going to call this episode. No
Honestly,
more
yeah,
pickles.
good
Yes, I
name. Good
love
title.
it.
Yeah, that's a good name. Well, thank you for tuning in to this Friday evening, 5 p.m. episode. Mancardpodcast.com. I know it's cuffing season where you get all cuddly. We got some great products over on mancardpodcast.com for you to check out. iTunes, Spotify. Give us a review over there on iTunes